Continuing with our Dobby weaves, we move into the category of extra filling yarns. This dotted Swiss made with 100% cotton, which means that it has a spun yarn, uses an extra filling yarn in the weave, and the extra filling yarn is on the surface and then it's cut, and the cut ends lay up to make the little tiny Swiss dot. This was piece dyed and it is sheer. It has poor resiliency in the sense that cotton has bad resiliency, not in the sense that the weave is especially noted for poor resiliency. We can use it for children's wear and for drapery. And let's take a look. This dotted Swiss, and see if you can see that's the back side. Yep, and there you can kind of see the tiny little cuts on either side of that dot that mean that these extra warp yarns, these extra filling yarns, pop up to form the dot. You probably have one that looks slightly different, but give it a feel, you'll be able to feel the dots. 53 is drapery fabric made with 70% polyester and 30% cotton. The polyester is in the warp direction, and so we have a textured filament warp and a spun filling. This one here is an extra warp yarn weave, and it is uncut. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. It is yarn dyed, and that's because the yarn makes the design. We do need to note that the extra yarns snag, so the back should not be used in situations where snagging might matter. It has moderate resiliency. It can be used for things like accent pillows because the back isn't exposed, or for draperies because people aren't hopefully rubbing up against the back side of your drapes. Hopefully not rubbing up against your drapes at all. So here on the front side we see this lovely design, right? But on the back side we see that we have this extra yarn that was inserted just to make the little blue stars. So they're not incorporated into the weave except in those spots. So these long floats, that's where they are when they're not woven down. On the back, the long floats can snag. Number 54, the eyelash is made with 97% polyester and 3% metallic. It has a filament and novelty yarn. Extra warp is the type of weave, and this one is cut. That's how the eyelashes are formed. It was yarn dyed, no finish. We do note it's sheer. It drapes well. That's partly the polyester. It's used for blouses and curtains. So let's take a look at this lovely eyelash. Again, yours may be a different color. Yours is kind of peachy looking. There's the metallic a bit on the edge, and then we can see, if we look there, there's the flutter of the eyelash, that extra yarn sticking up. So that was on the fashion side where the extra yarn was, so just like the dotted Swiss, and then it's cut so that we have that little fringe that is on the fashion side.